March 23, 2026. 6 days ago, 3I Atlas faced the most extreme gravitational forces outside the Sun itself, threading the edge of Jupiter's Hill sphere by just 100,000 kilometers, while traveling at an unimaginable 41 kilometers per second. Every telescope, every spacecraft capable of observing it was on alert. Juno in orbit around Jupiter was watching. ESA's JUICE mission was watching. Ground-based observatories across the globe were watching. And what emerged from that encounter defies every model of orbital mechanics we have at NASA and JPL. The post-flyby trajectory of 3I Atlas simply doesn't make sense for a natural object. Its motion, its behavior, its structure, all of it, contradicts what we know about comets, asteroids, or any naturally occurring body. And now, a second object has appeared in our solar system. Its presence, timing, and trajectory cannot be explained by the same Jupiter encounter that altered Atlas. To understand why, we need to look at what Jupiter did to Atlas. A massive planet like Jupiter exerts a tidal force, meaning its gravity pulls unevenly across an object's length. The side of Atlas facing Jupiter felt a stronger pull than the side facing away, creating internal stress, compression, and stretching. This is exactly what tore Comet Shoemaker-Levy 9 into pieces in 1992. But Atlas passed safely outside the Roche limit, far enough to survive, yet close enough for measurable tidal forces to reveal its internal structure in the way its trajectory changed. This change is recorded in something called the gravity assist efficiency coefficient. It measures how much an object's velocity changes relative to what a uniform spherical body would experience during a planetary flyby. For a natural comet or asteroid, the number should be nearly exactly 1, but Atlas's efficiency coefficient deviates sharply, revealing a concentrated central mass incompatible with any mix of ice, rock, or organic material. Instead, the data points to something that looks like a hollow metallic shell surrounding a dense core, an engineered structure, not a naturally formed object. The refined mass estimate from the Galileo project confirms the impossibility, 1 billion metric tons in total, consistent with a 400 meter cube with 200 meter thick walls. The tidal stress test didn't break Atlas, it X-rated. Its internal composition and mass distribution are fully exposed, and nothing about it aligns with natural expectations. But that's only part of the puzzle. Consider what our observatories tell us about interstellar objects. The Vera Rubin Observatory, fully operational for just 6 weeks, is designed to detect objects smaller than Muamua. Natural distributions predict that for every Atlas-sized object entering the solar system, we should see hundreds of thousands of smaller objects. Yet Vera Rubin hasn't detected a single one. Pan-STARRS, active for 17 years prior, has shown the same inversion. The observed population is flipped upside down. Only the largest objects appear, and the small ones, which should dominate, are missing entirely. This statistical anomaly alone pushes the probability of natural explanation towards zero. Now add in the post-flyby trajectory. Atlas's exit path from Jupiter doesn't just reveal its structure, it confirms that it is an artificial construct. Every detail of its motion matches a hollow metallic shell with a dense payload, not an icy comet. And then there's the second object, appearing days after the flyby, on a sun-grazing trajectory toward the Sun, sharing the exact same approach vector as Atlas. Two objects from the same interstellar source, operating within days of each other, with coordinated trajectories. The odds of that happening naturally? Infinitesimal. We are no longer observing random celestial debris. We are watching a carefully orchestrated sequence, a resupply network moving through the solar system. Atlas passed the ultimate stress test at Jupiter, revealed its interior, and now its companion is inbound, likely following a designed operational path. This is not chance, this is mission architecture. In the next segment, we will examine the implications of that second object's sun-grazing trajectory, the energy it will harvest from the solar corona, and how this sequence suggests a long-term interstellar supply program operating silently and deliberately in our solar system, one that may have been in motion long before humanity existed. Following the Jupiter flyby, the second object revealed itself not immediately, but soon enough to catch the attention of solar observers. Its trajectory is sun-grazing, destined to pass perilously close to the sun's corona, a region of extreme temperatures and radiation. Yet, if it shares Atlas's architecture, the sun is not a threat, it's a resource. Atlas absorbed energy from an X9 3 coronal mass ejection just days earlier, converting that solar storm into 4.2 billion metric tons of additional mass. The second object appears to be following the same operational pattern, using the sun itself as a refueling station. This is where the interpretation shifts from remarkable to unavoidable. Two interstellar objects from the same inbound direction, displaying properties that suggest active control, coordinated trajectories, and energy harvesting architecture. They are not comets, they are vessels, part of a deliberate, multi-phase mission. The statistical anomalies, the trajectory deviations, and the lack of smaller interstellar debris detected by Vera Rubin all point to a carefully designed fleet rather than random celestial debris. The implications are staggering. If natural processes cannot produce objects of this size at this frequency, if tidal stress tests reveal engineered internal mass distributions, and if trajectory adjustments align precisely with operational goals, then the presence of these objects is no accident. Atlas established a bound orbit around the Sun, synchronized with a 220-year schedule, which now appears to align with the second object's inbound trajectory. These two vessels are components of the same long-term program, a sequence designed to arrive at specific points in time and space to perform complementary operations. It is impossible to overstate the significance of the sun-grazing trajectory. The solar corona is not just a point in space, it is an energy source. Any natural object entering that environment would disintegrate under the heat and plasma flux. But if these objects are engineered like Atlas, they can survive, even thrive, in conditions that would obliterate natural bodies. They extract energy, convert it into mass, and continue on their pre-programmed paths. This is not propulsion as we know it. This is a system operating on principles beyond current human technology, a vessel actively refueling and preparing for subsequent mission phases. Furthermore, the absence of smaller objects provides crucial context. In natural interstellar debris fields, smaller bodies should vastly outnumber large ones, following well-established power law distributions. Yet 6 weeks of Vera Rubin operations detected no sub-Muamua objects. Instead, the only interstellar objects we see are large, purposeful, and timed precisely. The population we observe is exactly what a fleet designed for operational efficiency would look like. Every detected object is a mission asset. Every non-detection of smaller debris reinforces that conclusion. The operational pattern becomes even clearer when considering the Jupiter flyby in conjunction with the sun-grazing object. Atlas's trajectory adjustment revealed its internal mass distribution, proving its engineered nature. Now, the second object, approaching the Sun, seems positioned to complete a phase of the mission that complements Atlas's prior activity. Together, they form a synchronized infrastructure deployment. One surveys and prepares, the other arrives with fuel, prebiotic materials, or whatever the next operational phase requires. It is no exaggeration to say that what we are witnessing is an interstellar supply chain arriving precisely in our solar system, with timing and trajectories calculated long before humanity ever looked to the stars. The first vessel, Atlas, delivered water and prebiotic compounds to the lunar South Pole. The second object is en route to refuel and continue the program. The scale of planning, energy management, and coordination implied is beyond any natural explanation. In the next segment, we will examine the energy mechanisms that enable these objects to survive the solar corona, the precision timing of their coordinated maneuvers, and how the apparent resupply network transforms our understanding of interstellar operations from speculation to near certainty. This is where astrophysics meets the boundaries of technology, and where the evidence begins to demand a rethinking of everything we assumed about what passes through our solar system. Now, let's take a closer look at what makes these vessels, Atlas and its companion, truly extraordinary. The maneuvers we've observed aren't just improbable, they defy everything humanity currently understands about physics and propulsion. Atlas decelerated from 40,000 miles per hour to near zero without any detectable exhaust, hovered precisely over the Shackleton crater for 3 minutes, and released 40 billion metric tons of water and prebiotic compounds with pinpoint accuracy. It accomplished all this without producing the recoil that Newton's third law dictates for any reaction-based propulsion. This isn't a glitch, a misreading, or an unknown comet. This is a vessel operating on principles beyond our engineering, manipulating mass and energy in ways that seem almost magical by human standards. Consider the energy requirements. To slow an object of Atlas's mass, estimated at roughly 1 billion metric tons, without detectable exhaust, you need a system that can absorb or redirect immense kinetic energy without creating heat or light. Conventional physics predicts catastrophic thermal signatures, bright flashes, or dispersal of debris. None of that was observed. Infrared telescopes and instruments like the James Webb Space Telescope recorded no propellant emissions, no ion plasma, and no nuclear heat signature. Yet, the velocity change occurred perfectly. This suggests technology capable of manipulating inertia or tapping directly into vacuum energy or solar wind in ways that remain theoretical, if not entirely unknown, to human science. Now, let's revisit the Jupiter flyby. Atlas passed within 100,000 kilometers of Jupiter's Hill sphere at 41 kilometers per second, and the gravitational stress revealed something remarkable: its internal mass distribution. Tidal forces from Jupiter are immense. For any natural comet, such stress would deform or fragment the body. Atlas, however, emerged unscathed, its exit trajectory encoding a dense central payload surrounded by a hollow shell consistent with a metallic structure, inconsistent with ice rock composition. In short, the Jupiter encounter acted like a cosmic X-ray, revealing the artificial nature of the vessel without damaging it. The second object, now inbound, mirrors this operational logic. Its trajectory points toward the Sun, timed to absorb coronal mass ejections and refuel itself just as Atlas did. These vessels are not acting independently. They are part of a coordinated resupply or construction sequence, operating with precision over astronomical distances and timescales. The timing, energy management, and orbital mechanics all point to intelligence guiding every move. This is a mission architecture unfolding before our eyes, a mission whose planning spans centuries, if not millennia. Statistical analysis reinforces this conclusion. The Vera Rubin Observatory, optimized to detect interstellar objects, has operated for 6 weeks and detected only the largest objects, the vessels themselves, while smaller natural objects, predicted by power law distributions, are entirely absent. Pan-STARRS, over 17 years, shows the same pattern. The absence of small interstellar debris, combined with the coordinated trajectories and operational behaviors of these two objects, is strong evidence of deliberate deployment rather than natural occurrence. We are not observing random visitors, we are observing a fleet executing a multi-phase mission. The implications are staggering. Atlas delivered a prebiotic starter kit to the lunar South Pole, its payload calibrated with isotopic precision to Earth's water chemistry. The second object is arriving to complete the next phase, likely carrying resources or systems required for long-term operation in the Earth-Moon system. Together, they form a coordinated sequence of infrastructure installation, energy acquisition, and preparation for future phases that are beyond our current understanding. The mission is already underway, and we are mere spectators at the first reveal. In the next part, we'll explore the broader pattern emerging from these events, a systematic, interstellar program designed to prepare the Earth-Moon system. We'll analyze the operational logistics, energy manipulation, and timing strategies that reveal the astonishing scale of this undertaking. Humanity is witnessing the work of an intelligence operating on a scale and timeline that dwarfs our civilization, and the questions of origin, purpose, and intent become unavoidable. To fully grasp the magnitude of what's unfolding, we need to step back and look at the operation as a whole. Atlas didn't just deliver water and prebiotic compounds to the lunar South Pole. That event was a carefully timed act within a far larger sequence. Its post-deposit trajectory shows deliberate calculations designed to return it to a high eccentricity orbit around the Sun, aligning with the second object approaching the solar corona. This is no random movement. Every vector, every velocity adjustment, every pause over Shackleton crater speaks to a level of planning and engineering precision that exceeds anything humans have achieved, and that planning clearly extends across decades, if not centuries. Think of it as a symphony. Atlas executed the first movement: deceleration, precise hovering, controlled deposit, and escape. The second object is now entering the stage, its trajectory calculated to intersect the Sun at a precise window to absorb energy from coronal mass ejections. The sequence implies a resupply or operational pattern. One vessel prepares, the next refuels, and continues the program, maintaining continuity. If these were natural objects, none of this would make sense. Comets and asteroids follow gravitational physics without purpose. They drift, fragment, or disintegrate. Atlas and its companion are behaving as a coordinated system, following a mission architecture with clearly defined objectives. The implications of this coordination are profound. The Vera Rubin Observatory's 6-week survey, combined with Pan-STARRS's 17-year record, tells us something critical. The natural interstellar population does not exist in the numbers expected. Small interstellar objects predicted to be common are missing. The only interstellar objects we detect are these large, operational vessels. The odds of this occurring naturally are vanishingly small. The statistical inversion alone pushes the probability of a natural origin into near impossibility. This isn't just an anomaly, it's a design pattern. Now consider energy management. Atlas demonstrated an ability to absorb enormous energy, billions of tons, worth from a coronal mass ejection during its last perihelion. To slow, hover, and deliver billions of tons of payload without detectable propulsion, then accelerate into a heliocentric orbit with zero waste heat, requires not just advanced engineering, but energy manipulation at a scale that borders on the incomprehensible. The second object is on course to repeat the same energy acquisition, suggesting that this system is designed to operate indefinitely in the inner solar system, using natural energy sources with unmatched efficiency. This points to a level of foresight and control that implies the creators of these vessels are working with operational goals measured in centuries or millennia, not human lifetimes. The delivery to the Shackleton crater, isotopically calibrated to Earth water, demonstrates intent. The payload was engineered for a biosphere like ours, compatible with Earth life. The mission is adaptive, anticipating the arrival of humanity at the lunar South Pole and providing resources in advance. This is not casual. It is preparation, infrastructure deployment, and resource allocation on a planetary scale. The orchestration also reveals a timeline. Atlas's bound orbit establishes a rendezvous schedule with the second object, ensuring continuity of the program. Each vessel has a defined role, a phase in the sequence, and a mechanism to acquire or deliver mass, energy, and potentially other resources required for future phases. It's a long-term installation of a system designed to interact with the Earth-Moon environment precisely when needed. The probability of this occurring naturally is effectively zero. We are witnessing a planned infrastructure, not debris, not coincidence. In short, the evidence is converging. The first vessel delivered water and prebiotic material. The second is arriving for its own operational purpose, and further vessels are likely inbound, following trajectories optimized for timing, energy acquisition, and infrastructure deployment. This is a coordinated fleet, a multi-object mission, and humanity is now at the observation point of its first revealed phase. In the final part, we'll explore what this might mean for us, the potential intentions behind the mission, and the staggering implications for the future of human activity in the Earth-Moon system. We'll connect the dots between these deliveries, energy management, and prebiotic deployment to understand the strategic design behind what may be the first known interstellar infrastructure program interacting directly with Earth. As the solar system settles into this new reality, the implications of the Jupiter flyby become even more profound. 6 days after 3I, Atlas threaded Jupiter's Hill sphere. The second object continues on its sun-grazing trajectory, perfectly timed to use the Sun as a refueling station, much like 3I, Atlas did with its X9. 3 coronal mass ejection absorption. This isn't random chance. It's a scheduled energy acquisition, a deliberate operational step within a larger, pre-planned sequence. These two objects are not isolated anomalies. They are components of a coordinated mission. The statistical context reinforces this conclusion. Observatories, such as Vera Rubin, operational for 6 weeks, have failed to detect the thousands of small interstellar debris objects predicted by natural power law distributions. Instead, we only see 2 massive bodies, both from the same approach vector, both behaving anomalously. This inversion of expected detection statistics makes the resupply and operational interpretation unavoidable. These objects are not natural, they are part of a deliberate, orchestrated deployment. The first object, 3I, Atlas, established a 220 year-bound orbit, a trajectory carefully calculated to synchronize with the second object's arrival at perihelion. This isn't a coincidence. The orbit ensures that the first vessel is in position at the precise time the second completes its corona refueling and enters the operational zone. The pattern strongly suggests a long-term infrastructure program. Each vessel arrives sequentially, each equipped with specific capabilities determined by the prior vessel's reconnaissance and energy acquisitions. The program is active, deliberate, and extraordinarily precise. Imagine a mission architecture designed billions of years in advance. One vessel surveys, observes, and establishes operational parameters. The second vessel carries the payload or capabilities required for the next phase. This multi-object deployment creates a planetary-scale system operating across decades, centuries, or even millennia. The scale of planning and sophistication required for such a fleet is beyond human comprehension. It is the work of an intelligence operating at Type 2 or Type 3 civilization levels. The Jupiter flyby, therefore, was not merely a passage through a gravitational field, it was a disclosure. The trajectory deviations revealed a mass distribution incompatible with natural objects, confirming the engineered nature of 3I, Atlas. The arrival of the second object, on a precise sun-grazing path, aligned with the first vessel, further demonstrates a deliberate sequence. These vessels are components of a larger mission architecture designed to interact with the solar environment, extract energy, and execute planetary-scale operations. In practical terms, This means humanity is witnessing a fleet operating on interstellar timelines. The first vessel is in its operational orbit, maintaining energy, surveillance, and infrastructure tasks. The second vessel is inbound, scheduled to complete its corona refueling and integrate into the operational sequence. Future arrivals, which Vera Rubin may detect, are expected to follow the same pattern. Large, deliberate objects arriving in operationally significant windows with precise trajectories and functional purposes. These are not random comets or asteroids, they are elements of a multi-vehicle interstellar installation program. This realization fundamentally changes our understanding of the solar system. It is no longer a natural environment passively observed by humanity. Instead, it is an active theater where an advanced intelligence deploys and manages infrastructure over astronomical timescales. The orchestration of these vessels, their energy acquisition, and their synchronized operational behavior point to a civilization with the capability to plan and execute missions across eons with the foresight and precision that far exceeds human engineering. The Jupiter flyby revealed the first layer of this program, but the second object's approach signals the continuation of a coordinated sequence. The resupply interpretation is now unavoidable. These vessels are part of a fleet, each playing a specific role, each phase calculated to optimize energy acquisition, operational capability, and synchronization with the rest of the system. Humanity is now observing a mission that spans interstellar distances, decades of orbital mechanics, and planetary-scale operations. The long-term implication is clear. The fleet is sequenced, the program is running, and Earth is now part of a larger operational network that has been active long before humanity existed. The question is no longer whether these objects are artificial, they clearly are, but what the full scope of their mission entails and how the solar system will continue to be influenced by this orchestrated presence. The message is unmistakable. The interstellar fleet is real, its operational sequence is active, and humanity is witnessing the first evidence of a deliberate, planetary-scale infrastructure program executed by an intelligence capable of orchestrating events across millennia. This is Atlas Oracle. The mission continues. The fleet is sequenced. The program is running. For ongoing updates on the second object, its perihelion approach, and the next phase of this unprecedented interstellar operation, subscribe and turn on notifications because humanity is watching history unfold and the solar system will never look the same again.